The following is a demonstration of the congruent angle construction. We will access SOL Tools through the link on SchoolFusion. It will take a few moments for test navigation to load. And we will need to start with a given angle, so we will use this screen. We want another angle that corresponds and is congruent to the original angle. We are doing this right now, an angle congruent to a given angle. So you have to start with something. You'll be given an angle, and to start with, let's use the point tool to make a point. This will correspond with vertex point A. Let's call this point D. We need to start with one arm of the angle. So I will go to the straight edge tool, and it doesn't have to be parallel, but I'm going to place this arm in the same general direction as this arm of the first angle. I need to now use my compass tool, place the center at A, and this can be extended to almost any length. I'll place it there, lock in place, and make one arc. I want to use that same length, the same locked length over here, and make an arc that intersects with the first arm that I made. So when I go to the point tool, I have this intersection point that I will mark. I have an intersection point here. I have an intersection point here. I will call this first angle, oops, I will erase that. I will call this first set of intersection points B and C, and over here I will call this point E. Point E and point B correspond to each other. I now need something to correspond with the C, so I need a point someplace over here. So I need to go back to my compass tool. I'm going to use my new intersections B and C and my compass tool to figure out a distance. I will move this until I have the distance from B to C. I will lock it in place. I will make a little arc just to make sure that I am going through point C. I'm going to transfer this distance over to here by making another little arc. Now I have another intersection point that I can label. Intersection point F. F corresponds to C. Now I have enough intersection points created that I can create the second arm of my angle, and I now have two angles that are congruent, and the second angle is congruent to the first angle. Let's show that with some congruency markings to show that we indeed have two congruent angles. To see something similar but in a slightly different way, let's exit, submit, final submit, close out. We'll close that down. Back at SchoolFusion, let's link to construction animations. We don't want to bisect an angle, we want to actually copy an angle. If I look at my list of constructions further down, I have copy an angle right here. I want to go full screen. Original angle, point, first arm of the angle. Using the vertex point, I make an arc, transfer over, make another arc. Now I transfer from J to K in this drawing over to the second drawing. That gives me my intersection point so I can make a second arm. And now I have congruent angles. Let's see that one more time. You have to start with an angle, make a point, make a ray for the first arm, make an arc, transfer it to the new drawing, go back to the first drawing, transfer that distance over to here, make an intersection point, and now we can make a second arm for the second angle, which is now congruent to the first angle.